Good morning, everyone. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you all for being here. And welcome to the City of Duarte 2024 Veterans Day ceremony. On behalf of my fellow City Council members, I want to thank you for joining us this morning as we honor every man and woman who has ever worn the uniform of our nation to uphold our freedom. Let's start off with a round of applause for the men and women who serve. Serving our country's demands effort, sacrifice, courage, and commitment that goes above and beyond. So we're keeping in our thoughts and prayers the fallen, the missing, and those who right now are serving in harm's way. Before we move on with the program, I want to take a moment to recognize my colleagues and our special guests in attendance this morning. Mayor Pro Tem Cesar Garcia, Councilwoman Tara Martin Del Campo, Senator Anthony Portantino, representing the office of Senator Susan Rubio, Carla Cardenas, representing the office of California Assemblywoman, Abel Casanova, representing the office of Supervisor Catherine Barker, District 5, we have Tiffany Trent. School Board Representative Rosa Holguin. We have several of our commissioners and Citrus College boards here as well. And of course, thank you for our public works, public safety, our deputies who are here today as well. At this time, we will have the posting of our colors by the Duarte Scout Troop 85 and Duarte Pack 188. So all that are able, please rise and remain standing as they also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Color guard, attention. Audience, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, prepare to present the colors. Color guard, present the colors. Color guard, prepare to raise the colors. Color guard, raise the colors. guard, secure the halyards. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Those in uniform salute. Those not in uniform, place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color Guard reform. Color Guard dismissed. Audience at ease.
Thank you, Scout Troop 185 and Pack 188. Also wanted to recognize former council member and Mayor John Fasana as well. I see him in the back. Now I would like to invite Deacon Ron Sanchez for today's invocation.
Just a short invocation. Thank God for a beautiful day today. Heavenly Father, we come here to salute and honor the veterans who helped defend our country dutifully and in a proper manner. Please protect their families and save them, for their love for their country stands firm. In His name we pray. God bless America. Amen.
Thank you, Deacon Ron Sanchez. I'm going to ask that you all rise again as I invite Destiny Vega, an 11th grade student at CS Thorson, Duarte, to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet
Thank you. You may all be seated. Two things I know I can never do. Sign up to serve, because I'm not as courageous and brave as many of you who has donned a uniform, and never stand up in front of a crowd and sing like that. So. We are honored this morning to hear from a very special veteran, Mr. Donald Lee. Donald proudly served 24 years in the U.S. Marine. Happy belated birthday to the U.S. Marine. And several additional years in the National Guard. His military service includes 2 combat tours, one in Vietnam, 1969, another in Iraq in 2005. Over the course of his career, he earned numerous service honors, including a Meteorist Mass from the Base Commander for Outstanding Service, the Army Commendation Medal for the 189th Corps Support Battalion, and the commemorative coin from the 4th Sustainment Brigade. Originally from South Carolina, Donald moved to Los Angeles, where he attended both LA City College and Cal State LA. Eventually, the call of duty led him to join the Army National Guard. In 2005, he was deployed to Iraq, and after his tour, he returned to Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas, where he served as an observer, controller, and trainer, OTC. Donald retired from the military on his birthday in February of 2008. Now a member of the Duarte Senior Center, Donald stays active and engaged in the community, enjoying activities like attending dance, taking piano classes, playing guitar, singing karaoke with his friends. When he's not at the center, you'll likely find him at the gym staying fit and active. Donald is the proud father of 2 grown children, Tariq and Dawn, and a proud grandfather of 3 grandchildren, Elijah, Amina, and is it Raylan? Raylan. Please join me in welcoming Donald Lee to the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You can do better than that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm supposed to say, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are there any Marines here? Marines here? If you went through a Marine Corps boot camp, I know you heard that many times, didn't you? That drill instructor would say, I can't hear you. How do you respond? Okay. Okay. First, I would like to recognize our veterans and any active duty service members here. Are there any active duty service members here or veterans? If you're a World War II veteran, raise your hand. Are there any World War II veterans here? World War II veterans? No. Are there any veterans from Korea? Any Korean War veterans here? No. Vietnam veterans. Stand up and be recognized if you're a Vietnam veteran, because I know what you went through, because I was there. Oh, there's my buddy there. Who else? Oh, Bob. Yes, there's Bob. Where's Jerry? Jerry, my Vietnam veteran. Oh, man, I'm getting old. I forgot your name again. Mark! I see him all the time in the piano class. Glad for you to be here, Mark. Okay. I've already, well, maybe you don't know. I was in Vietnam, and many years later, I went to Iraq. And you would wonder, oh, well, you've been to Vietnam, why would you go to Iraq? But it was just the call of duty. I just looking for adventure, and that's what I did. I just not just went to Iraq, but had orders to go to Iraq, and I ended up in Iraq. Okay. Are there any Afghanistan I know there should be somebody from Afghanistan here. That's the latest war. Any Afghanistan veterans? No Afghanistan veterans. Well, I was in Iraq and I was close to Afghanistan, so maybe I wasn't in Afghanistan, but I was close. So I'm going to say I was in the Middle East near Afghanistan. Okay. First, also, I'd like to recognize my friends from the Duarte Center, Duarte Senior Center, who came to show their support for their veterans. All you Senior Center veterans, not veterans, but Senior Center members, just stand up. Oh, there's my friend Steve. There are two Steves here. And there's the Admiral. This is the Navy guy, the Admiral, right back here. Bro. There's my friend, right here. Richard. Oh, I'm getting old. There's my friend Richard.
He's older than you, Doug.
Yes, I'm getting old. Because, you know how I know I'm getting old? I joined Marine Corps in 1968. How long ago was that? 1968. Well, do I look like it? I don't know. Okay, let me go here. Let me get started. Be serious here. Okay. I know to be here this morning, I don't know if it was a sacrifice, but I know you probably skipped the old Starbucks latte. Probably did. Probably skipped your walk the dog moment. Probably did. And all the myriad of other things that you could be doing here, doing this morning, but you are here, let your veterans know that there are others outside of their family and friends that care about them. Is that correct? That's the reason you're here, to let the veterans know that they are not alone and that you care about them. When service members are deployed to distant shores, distant deserts, distant oceans, you hear about it on the news cycle. Yes, you hear about it on the news cycle. But your greatest hope and prayer is that they return home safe. That's one of my things. When veterans are deployed, I say a prayer for them, because I was one of them myself. And I hope that they would come back safe. But as you know, it doesn't always happen that way. Some veterans return home with serious issues that affect their daily lives and the lives of their family and friends. Some of these American heroes, sorry to say, return home with emotional, social, and physical injuries that I've seen some of these veterans because I've been to the VA hospital. I mean, it's a serious thing when our veterans come home from war. Did you know that since 9/11, we have lost more veterans to suicide than we lost on the battlefields during the Korean War, Vietnam War, and the global war on terror? That's a lot of veterans that we have lost. And this needs to be addressed, not hidden. Our American veterans need strong advocates on their behalf. Because when our veterans come home, as you know, or may not know, all our veterans are not in one piece. No, they're not in one piece. They're scattered among, even to themselves, they're scattered. And I say, these American veterans need strong advocates on their behalf. And my question is, are you going to advocate? Are you going to advocate on their behalf? Or are you going to let them fall into a bureaucratic crack? That's what happens. When these veterans do not have someone to advocate for themselves and they can't do it for themselves, they fall into a bureaucratic crack. Or they get lost in a bureaucratic maze, trying to find their way around. And that's what happens to these veterans. And therefore, they end up on the streets begging for nickels and dimes, sleeping on the bridges, sleeping in parks, not having adequate shelter. Oh, I've seen them. And even in unpleasant season, these veterans, their health are not conducive. I mean, their activities are not conducive to good health. If you're sleeping in the rain, sleeping under a bridge, did not have adequate shelter, that affects your health. These are just a few of the problems that our American heroes encounter when stricken with maladies. This is a national crisis, and it is shameful that we can't get the help that these veterans need. And I say, this is what I say, it's a disgrace that we can't do, but that we can do better and get these heroes the help they need. On this Veterans Day, that's what it's all about, this Veterans Day, reminding us about veterans. I say, folks, let's get these veterans the help that they need. Okay, I'm so sorry with these veterans. And standing up here, and I'm looking at you, you know what I'm saying to myself when I'm looking at you? I'm saying to myself, I must be a star, because look at all these people looking at me. Looking at me. But I say, the greatest starring role that I ever had, besides being a father, was wearing the United States Marine Corps uniform. And wearing that uniform came great responsibility. Ask my buddy back there, my Marine buddy. He knows what wearing that uniform means. I mean, you have to be on your toes all the time because you represent the Marine Corps. You have to look it and live it. That's my buddy back there. He knows what I'm talking about. Okay. To the men, am I missing the page here? To the men and women of the military, thank you for your service, your time, your heart, and your commitment to this wonderful country. You know, you didn't have to do it, but you did. You made that sacrifice, an unselfish sacrifice. Seems like my pages are out of line here, but anyway. Well, I'm gonna tell you how I arrived in the Marine Corps. Do you want to hear that story? How I arrived in the Marine Corps? Okay. I spent a couple of years out of high school working odd jobs and looking for a great adventure. Yes, 2 years out of high school, a year and a half, you know. I said, well, I want to go on a great adventure. But in my first thing, the first part of my great adventure was I would like to go to Los Angeles. Eventually, I ended up in Los Angeles, but I wanted to go to Los Angeles before I went into the Marine Corps. But needless to say, I didn't have the money to go to Los Angeles. So one day I was walking down the street and I saw this huge billboard. It says Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines. And Los Angeles, it said Los Angeles only 2,999 miles away. And I said, this is where I would like to go. But I didn't have the money. You know, a year and a half out of high school, I didn't have money to pay $2 to go 2,000 miles. Well, my older brother was in the Marine Corps, and he was stationed down in Oceanside, California, and he told me that, no, on the weekend, he goes to Los Angeles. And he was one of my influence. And the other one was Shirley Temple. Now you wonder, a black guy like me, what is this connection to Shirley Temple? But Shirley Temple was in this movie in New York, and marching down, I guess, Broadway or one of those big street, military parade. And she was singing this song. The Army, the Navy, and the Leathernecks Marines. And I never forgot that song. I used to think to myself, those guys must be tough. They've got leathernecks. So I went to a Marine recruiter's office, and as I stepped inside the office, there was this huge map on the wall. And I looked at this map, and I was just in awe of this map. And at the top of the map, it had Rhoda, Spain. And I said, that's where I would like to go, Rhoda, Spain. then this recruiter, he asked me, do you see any place on that map that you'd like to go? I said, yes. Then he asked me, did you take the test for the draft board? I said, yes. Then he said, have a seat. Then he asked me for my name. Then he made a call. Then he said, you're good. You're in the Marine Corps. That's what he said. then he started, I went to his desk, and he started typing. Then he said, sign right here. And I signed right there. And I looked at my name. Then it had private by my name. I'm thinking, private? I haven't even been to a base yet, and I'm already a private in the Marine Corps. So he gave me a ticket, and on this ticket it had the date and time that the bus was going to pick me up, and this was take me to this processing station. And that's how I ended up in the Marine Corps. And I would like to thank you for just taking your time to be here. Because like I said before, there are so many other places you could have been, but you didn't forget your United States service men and women. And that's why I'm so proud to be here. And I served my country well. I think I did extremely well serving my country. And I would like to thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me. And may we continue to have God bless this wonderful, wonderful country and our American service men and women. Thank you.
If you could stay up here at the podium for a minute to prevent you from getting up and walking back and forth. There's a lot of people that want to present to you some certificates and appreciate all the work that you've done for us. So first off, I would like to invite Senator Anthony Portino.
Let's give it up for Donald Lee. Wasn't that awesome? Thank you for your service. Before I present a certificate, I just want to thank the City of Duarte for having us out to celebrate. Do me a favor. Say hello to the person next to you, and if they're a veteran, say thank you for your service. Introduce yourself. If they're a family member, hug them. Hug the baby. You know, this is a celebration of our veterans, so let's say thank you to all the veterans that are here. You know, when people get enlisted or when they were drafted, no one asked them political questions. People just said, do you love our country? Do you love our neighbor? And are you willing to risk your lives to protect our freedom? And all the veterans here said yes to those questions. And like Donald did, they went off and they served. And so as your state senator, I'm the son of a World War II veteran. My dad served in World War II. And the only story he ever talked about, he never talked about any of the combat. He never talked about any of the things, you know, that generation just didn't talk about it. The only thing he did say is he hated mutton. Because when he was stationed in England, they served mutton every day. And so when my mother would make lamb, my father would leave the house because he couldn't stand the smell of mutton. So I share that story as a light story of his experience during the war, but he never talked about anything else beyond that. They all kept it in. And so I could tell that Donald, you know, shared his story. And, you know, I disagree with you that it was all about adventure. I know that you wanted to serve your country, our country, And I know that was the genesis of it, and typical of a veteran to sort of be self-deprecating about that passion and about that service. And so, on behalf of the California State Senate, I just wanted to join the Duarte community in recognizing your love of country, your patriotism, your family, your celebration, and just the fact that you were willing to risk your life so we could sit here in Duarte, California, and enjoy the freedoms that we have today. So thank you for your service, and God bless.
Next, we have Carla Cardenas, District Representative from Susan Rubio's office.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Carla Cardenas. I'm here on behalf of State Senator Susan Rubio. Thank you so much, Mr. Lee, for your service. It's an honor to join the City of Duarte today to recognize and celebrate Veterans Day. Today, we honor the courage, commitment, and sacrifices of all of our veterans whose dedication to our country has safeguarded our freedoms and values. Their service, strength, and resilience defines our nation, and let us not only remember their bravery, but also continue to support them, like Mr. Lee said, in every way possible. On behalf of Senator Susan Rubio, who is also a member of a military family in the state of California, I want to present this certificate to Mr. Lee for your love of country and for your love of service. Thank you to all of our veterans that are here and are not able to be here today, and the families who made those sacrifices. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Abel Casanova, District Representative from Assembly Blanca Rubio's office.
Good morning. All right, my name is Abel, and I am from the office of Assemblywoman Rubio's office. And on her behalf, we are honored to be here with all of you to honor and to thank our veterans. Mr. Lee, and to everyone who's here, we thank you for your courage and for your sacrifices that you've done. You left your families so that we can be with our families. Because of you, today our country stands and continues to prosper and to be the #1 country in the world. Thank you for everything that you've done, and may God bless you and your families and give you many, many more days of life. Thank you.
Next, we have Tiffany Tran, Assistant Field Deputy from Supervisor Catherine Barker's office.
Good morning. My name is Tiffany Tran. I'm here representing LA County Supervisor Catherine Barker. On behalf of the supervisor, we want to thank you, all the veterans, Mr. Lee, and your families for the service that you gave to our country. Thank you for providing us with our freedom. My grandpa, excuse me, my grandpa was also a Vietnam veteran, so I know how difficult it was coming back home. So I just want to give my deep appreciation to you all, not just today, but every day. So thank you.
And if I could please ask my council colleagues to step up to the podium so we can present Donald with the little gift and certificate. I have as Donald was up here speaking to the audience, it kind of brought me to think about how I'm able to be here in front of you all and present and celebrate Donald today. My parents are immigrants from Vietnam during the war and arrived to the U.S. in 1979. In Kentucky, worked on a farm for about a year, and said my dad was an entrepreneur back in Vietnam, so he couldn't really work on a farm in Kentucky, and decided to get on the Greyhound and travel all the way over here to LA. you didn't only protect the people here in the United States, you also protect a lot of people as well, so I thank you for that. And Donald, on behalf of the city of Duarte, Mayor Pro Tem, would you like to go ahead and read this? Councilwoman?
Hello. On behalf of the City of Duarte, we proudly recognize you for your courage, dedication, and sacrifices in support of the United States Armed Forces. Your leadership and resilience throughout your experiences are truly admirable. We are honored to have extraordinary veterans like yourself in our community. With a heartfelt gratitude, we thank you for your service to our country.
We also have a gift for you, Donald.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I enjoyed the journey, and I'm thinking, well, not thinking, I did a good job. I did what I was supposed to, when I was supposed to.
Thank you. You sure did, Donald. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story with us. I'd like to invite Destiny Vega once again to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Yes. You may all be seated. At this time, I'd like to ask all veterans in attendance to stand or wave so that we may acknowledge you with a round of applause. Again, thank you all. Thank you all so much. Now, for all veterans, you are all invited to Duarte Elks Lodge, number 1427, located at 2436 Huntington Drive, for a free roast beef dinner today, starting at 6 p.m. And non-veterans, you can accompany your veterans there, but you'll have to pay $10. Please call Jerry Delker to reserve your spot. I'll say the number out loud. Oh, he's right over there. Jerry has his hand up right there. If not, you can call him at 626-622-7776. And his cell phone's right on him, so if you give him a call, he'll answer. Also, for all of you who missed your coffee this morning, all of you who are veterans that missed your coffee this morning, Starbucks is offering to all veterans, military service members, and military spouses, so you won't have to pay if you're a spouse of a veteran, a free tall cup of coffee or a free tall iced coffee. So please stop on by and enjoy the perks. To close out our program and help us honor all who have served, we have today from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department band, Sheldon Gordon, performing taps. Sheldon? Thank you all. You may all be seated. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you again for joining us. I also want to thank our city staff, public safety, We Pack It All, Starbucks, Elks Lodge, Duarte Women's Club, Duarte Scout Troop 185, and Duarte Pack 188, Destiny Vega, and the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department Band for making this event possible. I invite you all to enjoy some light refreshments and view the names of our veterans we have collected throughout the years that are from Duarte or have some connection to our city. And you'll see them right along this wall banner here. And if there's some names that should belong up there and you don't see, please tell one of our staff so we can add that on for next year too as well. Again, thank you all. Happy Veterans Day.